I remember I was not in a great headspace around the time I was doing my final episodes. I was going through a life transition. I just said, I love carbs, guys. Carbs became a little bit of a friend, and I was done with the gym. Hello, people. Welcome to the Anna Dive Show podcast. It's been a minute. I have missed you guys. And I'm so excited because I get to do this again after 2 years. The last episode I remember was 5th of May 2022. And yeah, guys, I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to, keep not giving you great content, but life happened. And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about where have I been? And we're going to be talking about my recent weight gain. Okay. So it's going to be good. For those of you that do not know me, I am Anna Wanjiru, also known as Anna Dives, also known as My Planted Kitchen. I'm not new in the content creator space. I have done a lot of content on health and wellness and fitness. And I was this, small size S girl that was lifting heavy. And then now me. And I still love health. I still love wellness. I still love mindset. And I think there's a lot to discuss in this space, especially for women that are just navigating life, as millennials who have a lot on our plate. And we still want to know, how do I still stay healthy and sane as I go through life's transition? So if you're ready, let's do this. Tell a friend Anna Dives is back, okay? And when you do, also subscribe to my channel. I will really appreciate that. Okay, so this will not be a sub episode because it has the potential of actually being a sub episode. Like, I did not leave because life was great. I was going through life. And I remember I was not in a great headspace around the time I was doing my final episodes. I was going through a life transitioning to this whole co-parent situation. And I needed to prioritize my mental health. And I just said, I love carbs, guys. Carbs became a little bit of a friend. And I was done with the gym. Like, the gym was no longer doing it for me. If you look at my content from like 2020 to 2023 was like me and fitness. And I would spend an hour, 2 hours in the gym, you guys, just becoming very lean. And I would not eat pasta. I would not eat bread. And, protein was heavy on my plate. And there was nothing wrong with that. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that. But here's the reality, guys. I was not okay. I was nowhere near okay. All right. So my sleep was a problem. I remember sharing content on all these supplements I'm taking so that I can sleep well. I was taking melatonin. I was taking, all kinds of supplements. I can't even remember half of them so that I can sleep. I was having mad anxiety. Okay. When you're going through a major life transition, it's not a secret. You're going to be anxious. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of sadness. You have to deal with change. So, yeah, I was a very anxious woman. I remember one time just feeling like, like I was driving the car and I all of a sudden I had nausea. All of a sudden, like I was completely fine by the time I was leaving the house. And then I was driving my car. I was going up Magathi Way and I started feeling like my hand was shaking and I had this crazy nausea. And I was opening the windows. I was feeling like there wasn't enough air in the car. And that was a weird episode because my kids were in the car. Okay. They were a little bit younger. That was about 3 years ago or so. And I remember calling a friend of mine and she happened to be a therapist. And I told her about that episode of what happened. And she was like, girl, you had a panic attack. And I was like, what? Is that what they feel like? So you can imagine. And what else? my mood was not great. I don't think I had as much energy. Like my relationships were not so. Anyway, like I said, I had this really funny quote at a wedding where this MC said, calories need a home. Okay. The calories in my house needed a home. So we did the thing and I added weight. And I didn't necessarily comfort it. I think I just stopped working out heavy. Like the gym was no longer appealing to me, and I needed to find ways to really bring my cortisol down, because when your cortisol is up, you're bound to have so many issues. And for us women, because our hormones are super sensitive, you find that, you have to be really careful around stress. So anything that was a stressor, I dropped it. Okay. And gym was the first one. There was the time, the finances, and just I needed a change. So I discovered walking. I invented a little exercise called walking. And it's been amazing, you guys. Just being out in nature, walking on these forest trails. And they're so cheap, guys. Like what? Ngong Road Sanctuary is 100 shillings. There's another one on New Muthaiga, the Karura one. I love that one. There's Ololua in Karen. Like entrances are minimal fees, And when you're out in nature, there's so many research studies that says, being out in nature, being out in that fresh air is super good for your mental health. And that's exactly what happened to me. So I would always bring a friend to my walk, and my friendships, my relationships grew. And I love that. I really do. And another thing is, I just became comfortable. I would go out to eat with my kids, and I would have pasta and would have a good time. And we would just bond. Before I'd be like, oh, no, I can't take pasta. I can't do this. I can't eat garlic bread. Girl, I'm not doing that anymore. Like I'm very mindful, that what's on my plate shouldn't be in excess. I try to eat 80% full, and I enjoy company. So my friendships, my relationships are so much richer, which has been good for my health. Another good thing has been sleep. I sleep like a good 8 hours. If it were not for my kids like waking me up because they're going through one thing or another, one is having a fever or whatever, I sleep so good, guys. It's fantastic. You have no clue what good sleep will do for you. It is such an underrated health habit. If you're not clicking 7 to 9 hours, I want you to review that. And it's not about supplements. It's not about sleeping pills. No, guys, it's about really assessing how's your mental health. Are you overworking yourself? And if you're overworking out, like I would do 1 to 2 hours in the gym, and then I would do 10K steps in the evening on that same day. That's how I maintained size small. It was a lot. It was a lot for me. That's not my build. Like even when I was young, I was always chubby. People used to call me Anika Nono. Yeah, so basically, guys, it's not my usual body size. And it took a lot of effort to maintain that. And to be quite honest, I feel like I was pushing myself a little too hard. There's nothing wrong with going to the gym. There's nothing wrong with lifting weights. But I think there has to be a balance. You can be on the other extreme and end up being unhealthy. There are people who are on the extreme of dieting. You all know the saying, too much of anything is not good for you. And it's no secret there are fitness trainers who are women who've messed up their hormones by over exercising, by over dieting. So anyway, basically, I think I have striked a balance right now, and my sleep is really good. Like I mentioned, my energy is good. My relationships are good. I'm able to actually enjoy the food on my plate. I'm eating mindfully. I am eating to 80% full. I have discovered that that's actually a really beautiful and simple way to portion controlling. I'm also trying to use my hand. They say the stomach is the size of your hand. Ask any doctor. They'll tell you this is the size of your stomach and this is the size of your brain. It's one fist is the stomach, two fists is the brain. And I'm trying to use simple everyday methods as opposed to counting calories, measuring my food. And honestly, guys, who has the time? I am a busy mom, and I have an 8 to 5, which I'll talk about in my life update. And I still run this platform. So I just, there's no more time. So, in a nutshell, when I'm answering questions about my weight gain, which most people don't seem much bothered by it. If I had an issue with it, it would be me, not because other people said it. But I feel like I am the healthiest I have been at this size. And I think the best weight you are is when you're no longer worried about your weight. That's your best weight. And the best weight you are is when you feel your healthiest and your markers show it. Your blood pressure, fantastic. Your bowel movement, digestive tract, fantastic. Your immune system, when other people are getting flus, and they're getting sick, but you're not, it means your immunity is strong. You're able to play with your children. You're able to keep up with them. You're able to enjoy your relationships. Guys, it's holistic. That's basically what I'm saying. And that's what I'm living. And I'll keep sharing, wellness tips. I'll keep sharing, exercises that are, they can fit a busy lifestyle. I'll keep sharing all those food tips and recipes. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you definitely should, because I have this thing of recording really short recipes that are absolutely delicious. So, life update. As I mentioned, I transitioned and I no longer do just my business. I am in an 8 to 5. And it's funny how life works and how God works, and nothing went to waste. All that I used to do from like 2018 with my planted kitchen, the recipes, the communication content, somehow I found a job that married all of that into one job description, which was just amazing. And it offered me the opportunity to travel. So I've traveled to a couple of countries and it's so much fun, you guys. I think it was timely. It was timely. And the other life update was what? I have braces. If you have not noticed, I don't know. I have to get used to them. And I decided, you know what? It's time. I want to work on my teeth and I'll tell you how that is going. It's not easy. You have a grill, there's something in your mouth. And that has been just an adjustment. And as I mentioned, we've transitioned as a family and we've figured out our new space, this co-parenting space, and how that works with my children. And I thank God they're healthy. Everybody went to therapy. I advocate for therapy, and it's been a good space. And I think the most important thing I want to mention, guys, is my relationship with God just grew deeper, even in that 2-year period where I took a break. I actually worked on mindfulness. I worked on meditation. I worked on reading his word. I worked on prayer, and that nothing balanced me more of everything. I think that's the thing that balanced me the most. And I'll talk about in the next episode, my top tips when you're going through transitions. What are those top tips to help you get through transition and come out better on the other side? I want to give a shout out to Home Chef. They have sponsored this episode. I'm going to talk about my daughter's eczema journey in another episode because it's been, oh my gosh, guys, she has eczema all her 8 years, of her life. And we have tried everything under the sun. And one of the things we were told by the dermatologist is to get rid of gluten. And it was tough because she was missing out on chapati, mandazi, all those things until we discovered Home Chef gluten-free flour. It's amazing. It mimics wheat flour 100%. And you don't have to feel like you're missing out, So all of us, just so she doesn't feel left out, have all transitioned to gluten-free. And that flour is doing the thing because it makes everything that normal wheat flour could make. And we are enjoying all recipes. So I highly recommend head on over to their Facebook and Instagram page and buy that. That's it, guys. Thank you so, so much for being part of this episode. Thank you for coming back on this journey with me. And I hope we are going to have a good time with guests and all kinds of topics and Q&As. So yeah, brace yourselves. Thank you. Bye.